Hello everyone. So this is where we stopped our project. So we created the character and we modeled the character and we set up the materials. So this is how this looks now. So the next step is setting up the rig or adding a skeleton to this character so that we can add animations. So right, for that I'll go to this animation mode. So here we can see like a preview of the whatever the animation we are working on. Sorry, not animation mode. Go back to layout mode. Perhaps enable the colors. We still have to add before going to the animation mode, we still have to work on our skeleton. Only after adding a rig we can do the animations. Okay, so to get started with the animations, let me first go to the side view and here we make sure you are in the object mode. Add armature. So now you see a bone is added. Somehow this cursor is here, so it's added on the cursor, but I need this in the 000 location because this is going to be our root bone, like this. Okay, now press S and scale it down because this just represents the root bone. So other than that, it doesn't have any other significance for the mesh, so it doesn't have to be big. Okay, and you can see when I go, yeah, before that we are still in the object mode. Press Ctrl A to apply all transforms. So now the scale of the bone is set to 111 and rotation, everything is 0000. So it's better when we do other modifications later. Okay, now select this and go to edit mode by pressing tab or switching it here, and now you see you can't see the bone because of the mesh. You can of course use this wireframe mode, but I don't need that. Or we can use here this in front. When you select the bone under this object data properties and viewport display, you have in front option, so you see the bone in front of the mesh. Bone is rendered in front of the mesh. Okay, so now let me press shift and click somewhere over here. Okay, and again add single bone. You could do shift A as well. So this is going to be something like the pelvis of a human. I don't exactly know what are the bones called for dinosaurs. So first I'll make this in X direction 0. Sorry, not just the head, the tail as well. So 0 0. Okay, now it's in the center, and this does not have to be this big. Let me go to side view. Let me move the tail somewhere like this. So this is going to be the parent bone of all other bones of the body, and I could actually like make a child of this bone, but I didn't want to add a chain of bones from the root to over here because there is no body here. So select this and shift select this, Ctrl P, keep offset. Now this bone is a child of this bone. That means if you go to pause mode and if you move this, the other bone also moves with that. Okay, right, oh sorry, I should let's go back to the edit mode. Actually, I should move the start of the bone somewhere here and tail over here. So perhaps here. Now select the tail or select this bone, press E to extrude and add another bone. Just like in mesh editing, you can use G to move, and since we are in the side view, it will only move in ZY plane. Again, place it as you see it fits. Press E to extrude, add another bone, E to extrude, another bone, E to extrude, another bone, E to extrude, another bone. I think that should be enough for the tail. And go to front view, make sure it's perfectly aligns the Z axis because our character is symmetric. Now similarly select the tail again and press E to extrude another bone and E to extrude another one, maybe like this. No, it looks ugly. Maybe like this. To extrude, another bone, again select here. This is to open and close, control the mouth. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to add another bone here. I only wanted to adjust it. Right. Okay, now the body is complete. If I not complete, the spine is complete. If I go here and rotate, now you can see this. From this we can control the front, rotate, and with this we can control all the body. With this we can control everything including this main bone. Right, now legs. So go back to edit mode, select the tail of this main bone and extrude, perhaps like this. Now go back to the front view and adjust it to somewhere like this, so it's in a reasonable location to control the leg. Again, E to extrude. Wait, actually this leg only bends from here, so to this way there is not much bend happening here. So let me set the bone like this and this. If this is not good, we can of course change. E to extrude and E to extrude. Perhaps we should keep this horizontal. Yeah. Right, now if I look from this side, you can see it's not exactly aligned properly. So let me adjust the bones a bit. Okay, now it seems good enough. Alright, now let's do the hands. select this one, press E to extrude a bone, go to front, perhaps somewhere like this. If you like, you can study the real anatomy of the dinosaurs and make the exact skeleton, but I don't want to do that. I just want to make this animate. So I'm just gonna do it as I think it, so it fits my purpose. So oops, okay, now this should be here. All right, seems fine. Okay, now we need the same bone structure to the left side, to the right side of the body as well. So since our character is symmetric, we can actually mirror that. For that, we need to have proper naming. So this is leg, back leg, BL, first bone, back leg 1, L. This is back leg 2, sorry, back leg 2, L. This is back leg 3, L. Make sure you are putting underscore L for L. Make sure you are putting underscore L because that's how the system identify this as a left side of the left side bone. Here front, I don't think we can call this legs, so hand. So when we call hand, it's not necessary to call front hand because this guy don't have back hands, but anyway I'll just use the convention FL1L, FL underscore 2 L, FL underscore 3 underscore L, FL underscore 4 L. Okay, all right, now select all these left side bones with shift click and right click on perhaps here in the root and symmetrize. So now you see the same bone structure is added to the right side of the character as well. So if I select one of these, go to pose mode, you can see I can control those bones independently, but they are not still attached to the body of the character. We haven't done that yet because we will do that. So now the next step is I will add the simple inverse kinematic system to the character's leg, so it makes it easier for us to animate the leg movement. So for that we need two bones. Again, go back to edit mode. If you don't know what inverse kinematics means, for example, if I select this bone and rotate, so it affect the bones that are childs or that comes later in the hierarchy under this bone. So that's forward kinematic. Inverse kinematic means if I move this bone, I can't move, But if I can move this bone, if it is moving the bones above the hierarchy of the bone structure, that's inverse kinematic. So when we want to move the legs, foot, and if this bone structure is adjusting to the foot location, that's very helpful when we implement foot like walking. So for that, for stuff like that, it's better to use inverse kinematic. Okay, so to set up inverse kinematic, we need a target bone and a pole bone. So target bone defines where this whatever the bone should move to, and pole bone defines the bending direction of the bone chain. So for that, go back to edit mode, shift A, that will add a new bone, move it here, scale down, it doesn't have to be big, and rotate 90 degrees and place it right here, because I'm gonna move the leg foot by moving this bone, so that's why I place it right on top of this connection. Now, so when you export this object from Blender into Unreal, you will get an error that says there are multiple rules. If you have any bones that is not a child of this root bone, there can be only one root bone, or only one top level bone. So to prevent that, I'll select this bone and shift select this bone and Control P to make this bone a child of the root bone, so there are no multiple roots. But inside Blender, it doesn't matter. Okay, now I'll name this back leg target L, and by pressing Shift D, I'll duplicate this bone and I'll move it somewhere over here, because this is going to be the pole bone, pole target, which defines the bending direction when we move this bone. So this one I'll name PL pole L. Make sure they are overlapping nicely. It's not necessary, but I'll do that. Okay, now go back to pose mode, because we need to add bone constraints. Select this bone and go to bone constraints and add bone constraints, inverse kinematics. Okay, now here target, so we need to give the bone structure, select over the main object armature, bone is PL target L, and here also armature pole is PL pole L, and you see it is automatically rotated. That's because we have set our chain length to 0. Let's make it 2, because we have 2 bones here. I think we can even make it 3, but maybe let's keep it 2. I don't think we need to affect this bone, and it's rotated this way, so pole angle, let's try 90. Okay, it works for 90. Nice. Now if I go to pose mode and select this bone, and if I move it, you see now I can move the leg with this bone, and it bends towards this bone. So that's the purpose of the pole. Okay, Alt G to reset. Do you think if this inverse kinematic affect this pawn as well, that'd be better? Let's try that. Okay, I think I'm not sure. Would that be a good idea? But yeah, let's see how it works with the mesh. If it is not working, we can disable that. But maybe I think it would be better. Let's go back to edit mode. If I move this a little bit upward. Okay, sorry, there are no IK setup for the right leg. So select all the bones that is relevant. Okay, I did some change to this bone as well. So to be safe, select all these bones related to the left leg and right click on the root, symmetrize. See, now the IK structure is applied to the right leg as well. In the post mode, you can verify it. Alright, now let's attach the mesh to the skeleton so that we can animate the mesh. For that, go back to object mode, select the mesh first, then shift select the skeleton and press Ctrl P. Then you get set parent options. So set parent to armature deform with automatic weights. Hold on, I forgot one thing. Select this pawn and this pawn, this one, this one, this one, this one, because these are like control bonds. Like they are not exactly affecting, they should not exactly deform the mesh. So I'll disable this deform. I think even if I do this after setting the mesh parenting, it shouldn't be a problem, but okay, better to get it out of the way. Okay, first now again select mesh, shift select skeleton or armature and Ctrl P. Armature deform with automatic weights. Okay, now if you go to select the skeleton, if you go to pose mode and if you move, now you see the character legs also moving with the as I move the skeleton. Nice. So if I move the root, everything moves, and if I move this one, everything tries to move, but the foot is keeping attached to the floor because of the IK setup we did. Alright, so that's our simple rig. Let's test the hands as well. Alright, working fine. And if one more thing, I don't remember if I showed that or not. So sometimes when you do the parenting, when you move a bone maybe like here, it affects the tail or something that is not relevant to that. So that when you set the automatic weights, that usually happens if you have flipped normals, if you have raw normals on your object. To see that, select the mesh and go to the edit mode and where is it? Here, face orientation. So if you have any flipped normals or any round normals, you will see this object with red instead of blue. So when you have that, select all the faces with A by pressing A when you are in the face selection mode, and under mesh normals, flip. I don't need to do that because my mesh looks correct, but in case you ran into that, check if the normals are inverted. Right, now after fixing that, again go back to the object mode and select select mesh, shift select skeleton and press Ctrl P, and again do parenting with automatic weight. That should hopefully fix that issue. And still, if you have any issues with the way the mesh moves as you move the bones, what you can do is first select the skeleton or armature and then shift select the mesh, and then this weight paint mode is available if you select it like that. When you go there and if you press Ctrl and click on a bone, you can see what areas of the mesh is affected by this bone. Red means it's fully affected, and as it fades out, it means it's not affecting. So these blue areas are not affected by this selected bone. So if you see, when you select this bone, you see some colors over here or maybe over here, that means there is something wrong with your weight painting. So you can use these paint brushes and blur and all the tools and set weights and do painting to fix those issues. But for this model, the way it works, I'm satisfied with the way it works, so I don't need to do any of those things. Alright, so that's how you do the rigging. Next time, let's see how to let's create some simple animations, maybe like a idle animation and like a walking animation, and then let's import this model into Unreal and let's see how it works. So thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page and could be in the description below. And if you would like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.